Beauty.
Brilliant. Should we get to it?
Let's go, mate.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Grumpy Surfer podcast. I am Adz, and this is Chris. How you doing, Chris?
I'm not bad. I accidentally gave myself some handlebars. So that was a good day on Sunday. I wasn't paying attention when I shaved and just had a bare blade. Just got up to my chin, then looked in the mirror and went, oh, man, I'm gonna have to sort it. But I thought, well, it's Christmas. In the spirit of Christmas, let's have some handlebars.
Nice ginger handlebarred Santa Claus beard.
Something for the missus to hold on to.
It's not that long yet.
I know.
Are you going to put little tassels on it like a little Gandalf?
Ooh, that's not a bad idea. I could be like one of the dwarfs.
Like grow it out here like Gimli.
Mate, I'll do a Gimli, but just for the handlebar, and then it attaches down the bottom.
Yeah, what's his name?
Looks like a right dick.
What's the guy called, the UFC referee, Beltrain?
Oh.
He's got the big beard.
Can't believe that beard, man.
It comes all the way down.
He's a ledge. I love that guy. I love when he refs as well, because it's just he's just something else to watch.
Well, he tucks everything inside his shirt, doesn't he?
Oh, so does he?
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah.
And
how the fuck did he get the job?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
I also think that a lot about a lot of the referees, though.
Oh, well, they remember who was the terrible one that always used to do the hard thing, and Dana White hated him?
Was it? It was like not Magalese. It was like something like that. Was it?
I want to say Nagasaki. I know I'm wrong, but that guy, he was useless.
Well, he did something horrific, didn't he? I can't remember. It was probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and I just remember it as being like super horrific, and Dana didn't particularly enjoy it,
because it was either it was a break or a choke, and the guy was completely unconscious, and even the other fighter, I'm sure it was a guillotine, is he's down, he's dead. And he's like, oh yeah, stop. Mate, nightmare. Anyways, congratulations on the black.
Thank you.
How do you feel? It's been what, a month?
It's been about
a month.
About a month now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a very strange experience, and a very strange feeling, I think. And it's very much, I think, when you work for something for so long, I know I don't care what people say about you don't aim for getting promoted and bouts, but you do, because that's a progression thing. When you're a white belt, you go, I can't wait to be a black belt, or I wonder how long it's going to take me to get there, because it's the pinnacle of what you want to achieve.
Definitely.
And I can't. It would be inherently wrong for me to say, oh, it was a surprise, because I'd been a brown belt for 3 years, and I've been training for the last 3 years,
consistently as well.
Yeah.
You opened this place, and it's just been sort of non-stop doing here, or the old place, but then also going to Exeter. I think you went like Mondays and Thursdays, so
yeah,
that's a lot of training to put in.
Yeah, so I was training a couple of days a week, 6 days a week, so almost kind of like full-time professionally.
Yeah.
But I'm 43 years old, and I feel a little bit broken at the moment. I've said this to quite a few people. I'm just kind of stepping back for a couple of months, just to kind of
let things heal.
Well, that's going to be difficult, because I've actually, if you remember on the last podcast, I bust my knee.
Yeah, there was the knee, and then you said your hip as well, wasn't
it? Yeah, there's lots wrong.
And your shoulder, and your neck.
Yeah, but my knee's the worst one. Is it's causing a lot of issues now, because I twisted it when I was kneeling. My foot. My foot came round. And it's caused a bit of an issue. Anyway, digressing massively here. Yeah, it was almost kind of like a relief as well, because you do put yourself under a lot of pressure to go, right, I need to get to this point. But it was also nice.
I bet, yeah.
And James said to me when Al got his black belt about 9 months ago, in May, he said, you're going to cry when you get it. I know you are. I was like, mate, I don't cry. I don't cry. And I nearly did.
I probably will.
Yeah, and
it's quite an emotional thing. Like you said, how long you trained? Like,
about 10.5 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
10 years. That's longer than degrees. That's longer than a lot of things to spend like a significant amount of your time like aiming towards this goal that you've had since white belt, where like I'd love to be at that position.
And I just want to point out that it was never my intent either. Like I started doing jiu-jitsu because it was just something different to do outside of training in the gym and going surfing. I was
Of
sick of
course.
doing the same old gym routine, and when
Yeah.
I started, the goal of it wasn't going, oh, I'm going to be training for 10 years. I just did it, and and I think we'll probably come on to it in a little bit, but the big thing for me, or it's a good ease into the conversation.
Okay.
The good thing, the main thing for me is, and what I said when I received
Mm.
the black belt off James was that I've never been. I wouldn't class myself as like above average. You know, someone that excels in everything. But what I do is I do the things that I've done things that I've hard in my life. For instance, Royal Marines, right? 22-year career. Going through recruit training was horrific for me because I didn't particularly enjoy it, but I wasn't one of these people that go, do you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to go and do something else.
Mm.
I was like, right, I've made a commitment to doing this.
Yeah. Like.
I'm just going to see it out. So I got through it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just kind of how I saw everything.
Yeah.
And then I went and did one of the other hardest courses that you can do in the Corps as well. So I went and did my PTI's course as well, which is 17, 18 weeks of getting fragged. It's like an ML course,
Yeah.
but condensed, and you're just doing phys 4 times a day, which might sound awesome, but after about 2 months
Yeah.
of
But
doing it,
after that amount of time, that's going to be a lot of
yeah. But
strain.
again, I wasn't the fittest guy. I was not the fastest runner, but I just kept
It's
going.
like a resilience.
Just kept
Mm.
going and did it, and I achieved that, and I passed it. And you know, and it's the same with jiu-jitsu.
Mm.
Is it was just it's just consistency,
Definitely.
just staying on top of it. And don't get me wrong, there was many times where I was sat at home going, oh, I can't be fucking arsed today.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, people are asking, Adz, do you want to go and train? And I'm like, oh,
Not particularly.
mate,
Not today. Can I just sit here and have a beer?
yeah, I might just watch, oh, I might just watch the TV, or you know, I'm just gonna mong out for a bit.
Yeah.
But I've gone, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm going. And 9 times out of 10, those are the best sessions that you end
Oh,
up doing.
yeah. I always prefer those ones because I'm like, well, at least I'm doing something as well. Because I'll guilt myself into going, I guess, when I can't be bothered. I'm like, but if you don't go, you might miss something. Kind of FOMO. Um, and you never know because you might learn something. You might go, oh, and just like something may just click for you. And that, yeah, you are right. Those are the best sessions for sure.
But it was really nice getting my black belt off James because
Good.
I started with Exeter. Exeter was
Oh, nice.
the
Down at Riverside. Was that there at that point?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, because we went to Riverside, and then that burnt down, and then they moved to the other side of Exeter. The
Riverside burned down, did it?
the I think something went wrong with the back of the swimming pool.
The swimming pool burned down.
So the roof of the swimming pool, and that there was like fire damage and stuff to it. So they shut that down for a bit,
God, that's ironic.
and it moved, and then it moved to the other side of Exeter by the View Cinema,
Oh, nice.
and it was in like the other like LED like gym bit. They've got another gym over there which had
Right,
like,
okay.
which was really weird because it was like in a like a spin studio, but it had mirrors all the way around,
Oh, nice.
and it was really weird.
Yeah, I think I've trained a place like that where it's like one side was just an entire mirror. Really
Yeah,
confusing.
and then we moved back to the Riverside, and now they're in their own place. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's been a cool journey, and it still is.
good. I'm glad. Like it was good watching you receive it as well because I've seen a few people get it, and it's just nice seeing your friends get promoted, isn't it? Like, oh, sweet, they've like kind of got that. Well, either like achieve that sort of big step of getting the black, or like any sort of promotion. Like I remember when my mate Pete got his blue, and I was like, oh, like that was really cool to see him get it, and he looked really chuffed as well. So yeah,
And
happy days.
I tell you something that people don't really talk about that much as well. is that I I feel like I'm not the most technical person in the world. Never have been. Can't retain. I mean, obviously, I've been training 10 years, so there's some autonomous stuff there
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
that kicks in. But I've never been the most like technical person in the world. Like there's a mate of mine called Rog, and I had a chat with a lad the other day, and he is like the AI like
Oh,
version of technique videos. He just like when he goes
he just
home,
absorbs it.
he just watches it all the
It's like
time,
cabs,
and
isn't it?
yeah, and he's horrific.
Mm.
Like he'll hit like bang, bang, bang. He's just hitting things all the time, and like he'll know about 20 million different techniques from like side control for
Mm.
escaping or attacks from there or something like that. I have them, but like if I'm teaching something, I'll remember it like
Yeah.
while I'm doing it. Oh, you can do this as
Oh,
well.
FYI. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it was a little bit strange because I'm quite a small person,
Mm.
and it's I've got to the point where I'm just like to control people.
Yeah. Being small and on top is like quite like
Yeah,
empowering. Where you're like, yeah, I'm tiny, but I'm beating up this, I don't know, 90 kilo man.
exactly. And especially like, I've got a lot of younger students now, and some of them are
Oh, the beans.
really
Yeah.
athletic and really strong. And my challenge in that is not necessarily like, oh, I'm going to sub them. It's just the control,
Mm.
which then kind of like brings back the whole emphasis of what jujitsu primarily is for,
Yeah.
is to control a untrained opponent.
Yeah.
But if you can control a trained opponent
And heavier opponent as
and
well.
heavier as well, then what can you do to somebody that isn't?
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, I think.
It's thought provoking because yeah, untrained people, especially when they come to the gym, they just there's like a new guy there, mate, and he's super grippy and like just really tense. I mean, dude, you just calm down because even when I'm on top and I'm doing nothing but kind of just like kind of riding and surfing, he's still like trying to just go nuts. I'm like,
Yeah.
if you just calm down, you will not expend as much energy. But lo and behold, he does, and it's just yeah, it's an interesting feeling.
I've stopped saying to people now, calm down.
Oh yeah, this is the I've said it X amount of times to him. He won't. It's not registering. I'm like he'll figure it out.
But what I also think is it's a learned thing as well.
Mm.
There's a couple of guys, and they'll probably know who they are if they're going to listen to this, that I've said to it numerous. You know who you are,
Yeah, Mister
X,
X,
and
Sam. I don't know.
yeah,
What's Sam and George? You two calm the fuck down.
yeah, you fuck right up. You're going to get a yellow and black belt next. Yeah, so I've stopped saying to people like calm down or try and tone down the aggression or take this away, because one of my guys is actually technically absorbed it really well, but
Mm.
he's just really he overemphasizes the strength and the speed. Now, what I've said to him is
Oh, okay.
I don't want you to take that away. I don't want that to go away, because when you compete,
You need
it
it
is going to be an advantage
for
to
sure.
you. So if you can be strong, fast, and have technique as well, then you're going to smash
It's like the
everybody.
trifecta.
But exactly. But what you need to try and do is when you're in a training environment is just not do that. Bring it
Yeah.
back, like we were taught in the core, right? Controlled aggression.
Mm.
Be be able to turn that on at a moment's notice when it's needed, but then also be able to turn it off
Yeah.
because it's not needed anymore.
That's my OC used to say, like, are we shaking hands or cracking skulls? Like when we were like before you're on an ops, I was like, okay, good point. He's like, and he said the same thing, like it's a switch. So when we switch, when you need to put the aggression on, it's like immediate. God, I haven't thought about that in ages.
Like
Are we shaking
hooting,
hands or
if
cracking
you hoot
skulls?
with the owls, you got to be able to soar with the
Yeah,
eagles.
yeah.
I love that one.
There's me with the pigeons though. Like I'm knackered, boys. What are we talking about today?
Let's talk about first thing, as we talked about me getting my black belt. Let's
Yes.
talk about a little bit about belt jealousy and when people get promoted and stuff. And
Oh yeah, I definitely have belt jealousy. You must have.
100%,
Yeah.
yeah. I the
Did you have it at brown when someone got their black?
I've had it at every single belt pretty much.
I definitely. I remember having it at white when I first trained, and someone got the blue, and I was like, "But he's shit." Like, I actually get my. I was terrible, and he was actually better than me. But I think at white, you just don't understand at that point. I definitely, yeah, I remember that. That was ages ago. Bloody hell.
The other one is you, because you don't know that many techniques and stuff like that,
Mm,
and you kind of at an early stage, I think blue belt, white belt, you're learning the game, you're not understanding it.
that's true.
And
Yeah.
that's not just, I'm not talking about um, the techniques and the rolling side of things, the
Yeah.
whole sort of like plethora of it all,
Hmm.
everything that encompasses it, whether it the mindset, how you roll, what you're doing outside of
Yeah.
it, you strengthening, all that sort of stuff. And and I think that because you get to that point, you compare yourselves to other people a lot.
Oh, it's the worst thing though. And you do it by like just subconsciously, don't you? Where like, like I'll compare myself to Ronnie because like he's better than me, and I'm like that's my sort of goal to achieve. I shouldn't. I should just like try and compare it to like last week's me or last month's me, and like what have I improved on? Um, but it's just so hard to get in that mindset of like I'm better than I was yesterday because you just don't feel it as much, I guess.
I think one of the things one is really crucial is the whole element of like beating somebody,
Yeah, yeah, that's okay. That's probably what it is.
because you're like, I used to get like mind blocks with people.
Oh yeah, you mentioned this in the week actually. Yeah.
So you roll against somebody that know that's better than you.
Hmm.
So before you've even gone into that mindset as I'm going to get beat, I'm going to get submitted, like straight away.
Yeah.
So my mindset of this is, okay, what do they generally get me in, and what can I do to advance in this and get rid of this mind
Like
block?
yeah, advance or avoid.
So the advice that I used to give to lots of people, and I use this as Johnny. So when I started training, Johnny
Johnny Gay.
Johnny Gurr.
Oh right, okay.
So when I first started training, Johnny Gurr was a blue belt,
Right.
and first session he must have submitted me about 12 or 15 times, like in one round, triangles, arm bars, everything. I was like, fuck, this is horrific.
Yeah.
But the analogy I use this now with my students is, if that one person submits you 12 to 15 times in that session, the next time you go against, try not to get submitted 12 to 15 times. Try to make it like 9 times
Or 11.
or 11. And then what you're doing then is, instead of like trying to beat that person, is that you are now slowly understanding that you're learning and you're progressing,
Hmm.
because those things are not happening to you anymore.
Yeah.
So by using that, as opposed to going with that person and going, fuck, I'm just going to get smashed.
Aye.
Or, you try and figure out, like, how is that person getting that? Whether it's like every single time they get you in mount, you turn a certain way and then they take you
Take the
back, or
back
they
bar.
armbar, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. So figure out a way how not to do that.
Yeah.
So instead of doing like your autonomous thing, do something different.
Yeah, because I think you do revert. Well, no, in people in general will revert back to the autonomy. The word that you just used
Autonomous.
could be. Who knows? I won't say it because I'll mess it up. But that word, you will revert back to what you know, as opposed to trying the new thing. Because it's like, well, what if it doesn't work? But they're the things that you should try because you might find something new, and different that might, you know, just get you out of it.
And I've
I
had
love
quite
rubber
a few
training.
conversations with people as well where they're saying, "Oh, right, I'm going to try and beat the blue belts tonight. I'm coming in, and they're going to get it." And I'm like, well, why?
Yeah,
Like that shouldn't be your
the
goal.
goal should be way smaller. I'm going to get a takedown, literally one takedown, or I'm going to pass his guard. Sweet. They're like they're the ones I'll do, especially like in comps. I mean, I've only done one this year. Actually, I should do a few more. But my last comp, I was like, I'm just going to go for this takedown that I've been trying to drill for like ages, and I landed like twice in the comp, and I was like, sweet. And then I felt much better going into it because I wasn't going with the mindset of like, oh, I need to win this competition and sort of smash everyone. It was a really, really simple thing, and it was easier to focus on that as opposed to like the whole comp itself.
But going back to kind of the start of
Oh my god, belt
the
jealousy!
segment
Jesus
of
Christ!
the belt jealousy thing is, I think you can be sucked into this. And again,
Mm,
I don't think it's a wrong thing. I think it's a positive thing to have,
yeah.
because then it gives you another goal to go, right, okay, what do I need to do? And this is a conversation that you need to have with your coach.
Mm,
So if Johnny has just got his blue belt,
yeah.
you're like, okay, Johnny's got his blue belt. I should be saying, oh, that was awesome today, coach, or whatever it is, professor, master, whatever you want to call them. I think personally, I'm nearly there. But what do you think I need to do to
What
work
can I
on?
work on? Like,
What can I work on? And I think that's a really important conversation within a gym and an
mm,
academy, is to have that, be able to have that approachable conversation with your coach, because otherwise you're just
I
like,
would,
how are you supposed to know?
yeah. I try and do this after every. If I'm getting smashed by someone and I'm not too sure, I will just ask the person or the coach and go, what was I doing wrong? I used to do this loads actually. I was like, what am I doing wrong? What can I improve on? And every time I roll with James, I'm usually asking something like that because he always just does something different. And he's like, oh, don't do this or do this. And it definitely helps sort of improve your game. Um, yeah, but definitely for belts, that is good advice. As you are full of it today.
It's almost like I know what I'm talking about.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm kidding. You definitely know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I sort of music,
What the fuck?
music.
Is that the next thing we're talking
It
about?
is music.
Excellent. We've given up trying to like link these together. We're just going to jump from point to point. I love it.
Because I fucking dribble like an absolute bastard when it comes to stuff like this. And I'm just like, I can't even fucking remember what I've been talking about
Yeah.
like 5 minutes ago.
I mean, yeah, we definitely went off topic there. But music, go on.
So, what's your thoughts on music while you're training, music while you're rolling, while you're doing technique? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, anyone that comes to my class will know that Dean hates my music. He absolutely hates it. The only thing that Dean wants is like trance and like and if I put on anything else, he just shouts and screams at me. Um, I don't personally mind with music. I don't think it affects me as much. Although saying that, actually Thursday, I did put on like Fleetwood Mac and kind of like chilled out vibes, and it helps sort of just like everyone relax.
Mm.
So we were like, we're practicing foot sweeps at the moment, and I'm just trying to get everyone like to relax and just try and go with the flow because we've got to do like the skip timing.
Hmm.
We're doing that, and everyone was just there was just this weird like I don't know. I think it was playing like Megadeth or Skindred, and it's too heavy for that. Um, so I think for like drills where if it's timing based, that might help with it. Rolls, I don't really mind. I imagine for some people it may affect them. Like if I want to do comps, I always used to listen to like metal because it just helps me get in the mindset. But rolling, I don't think it really matters as long as like I can hear something. Silence isn't great, where you just hear the heavy breathing and someone going ah ah. Also, those people are really weird. They just make like loads of noises. We've got like a few in the gym. Like one's like ah.
It's like listening to a porn audio book.
That's
You've
a
got no
great
you've
description.
got no visual. You've just got all the sound effects that come through.
Someone's actually done that on YouTube where they're like, is it porn or is it BJJ? And they've put a blindfold on, they're going to try and guess which is which.
That's not a bad segment to do, is it?
It's really
It's
good.
great.
Uh,
I think that music is a really good tool to have, but I get a little bit like sucked into it because I'm a bit of a stickler to music. I like lots of varying different types of music, all the way
yeah.
from like grunge to metal to salsa music to country. Um, I've started to get into like rap and like gangster rap and stuff
Oh,
like that,
nice.
because that's my background,
Yeah, of course. From the hood.
especially where I grew up in,
Birmingham.
yeah, sort of middle class Birmingham,
Just
which
a
which
middle class white boy.
which really wasn't like multicultural at all. Walking down, listen to like Run DMC or like Tupac or something like that. It's
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? Anyway, yeah. So
Digression.
digression again.
There's another one.
Music for me, I like it, but I also find that when I'm rolling, I zone out
Yeah, that's what I
and
mean.
then
Like
don't end up listening to it.
yeah, because
The only time that you ever listen to it is either when you're static and you're kind of either resting, or you're on the bottom and you're stuck and you just, what the fuck is
yeah,
this?
like is that a good song?
Yeah, why is
Yeah, I think before comms music is good to get you sort of, and that can be anything. Mine's obviously just metal, um, or like something just to kind of get me in like a mindset. But yeah, like I'll turn it off or I'll put it really quiet if someone's speaking, because it does detract, especially when you're trying to learn. And then if everyone's drilling, maybe something little bit lighter. It's not like Warrior though. Remember that film with Tom Hardy, where the dude's like, Beethoven, remember Beethoven, and he gets like an normal plot or some shit. That was such a stupid part of that film.
I don't think I even paid that much attention to it. There's a new Netflix uh, um, called The Cage, I think it's called, and it's got John Jones and
What?
Farasa Harby and what's his name, George St Pierre. They're all in it.
Really?
Yeah, man, I saw it the other
What is
day.
it like a drama?
It's like, do you remember what was it called? Not Warriors. Is who's the oh my God,
Warriors.
he did a documentary on Netflix about different martial arts in different countries.
He was in Warrior. Frank Grillo.
Frank
Yeah.
Grillo. So it's a little bit. He was in an MMA TV series. I can't remember what it's called.
Holy shit! I remember watching that.
It's like The Kingdom or something like that.
Yeah, and
The Kingdom.
the dude from one of the Jonas Brothers was in it.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, and
It was okay.
so it was a little bit like that, but I think there's only like 6 episodes. I haven't watched it yet. I can't bring myself to watch it because it might be Chad as your dad. But it's got John Jones on it that looks like he's got this big beard and it looks like someone's just got his face and put it into a mincer and it's got loads of
What?
scars all over his face.
I was
Not,
wondering why. I was like, why?
he's like sat down talking to this kid, but he's got like all these.
Like all
That,
his
that might
cuts.
be his natural face. I don't know, but
God,
yeah.
I don't think it is.
Anyway,
Yeah.
music.
So yeah, music, good for comms. Can't listen when I'm rolling because I'm too busy getting smashed by someone. Something light for drills.
I tell you what, I have put on previously is salsa music.
Cha cha cha.
Not like super
I'm not trying that on mine.
salsa.
If I put on salsa and Dean's there, he's gonna throw me out the door.
It's I think like dance salsa or um
Dance salsa.
like techno salsa,
If I can
something like
find
that.
techno, if you give me a techno
Man,
salsa
honestly,
song,
it was brilliant.
give me a techno salsa song. I'll put it on, and we'll just film Dean's reaction.
Some of the open mats I've done, lads are like that. Yeah, can we put that on? I'm like, "Oh, okay.
Oh, please send me it. Put it on tomorrow.
I'll find the playlist for it.
I'll let you know how that goes when I've got a black eye from Dean.
I tell you one thing that I did learn very early on, and I keep forgetting, is when the kids' classes are on, check the music.
Oh yeah, I've done that before. I've
I
done. I used to have like the. Have you had the adults there, and you hear like someone's dropping an F bomb, you've got to like run across like, ooh,
well, I had a Rage Against the Machine,
excellent, good choice for a
and
kids
it was just
class.
going fuck, 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 and and one of the dads was just sat on the side, and I was like, oh my god, and I turned it down a little bit. They were all laughing. They thought it was funny.
You just forget, don't you? It is one of them. Yeah.
I think the first one I ever did was when I started doing the kids classes was I had an Alanis Morissette playing, and it was talking about like a boyfriend was cheating and stuff like that, and she was, um, proper, and it was really inappropriate as
Oh,
well.
good.
It was it was talking about shagging and loads of f bombs. I don't think the c bomb went down range, but it was pretty close. Um, I turned round and Jess, one of the mums, came over here and she said, "Ad, have you listened to the music?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, and then we all
No.
started laughing, mate. It was really funny.
Oh god. Yeah. Maybe make like a kids playlist there.
I don't know. It would just be all Disney songs then, wouldn't it?
Perfect.
Or no, I did find gangster rap age appropriate. It said
Oh,
something like that
cool.
on it,
That's not bad. That's
which
a good
was all
show.
right. And it's just the music. It's no words in it whatsoever because a lot of it's just like profanity.
Yeah, just like in boop.
Yeah, it's like one big like that. Yeah. YouTube videos versus paid content. Like you see,
I love this. We'll just be like, this is what we'll do from now on. It's
yeah.
just instead of like trying to go like, so our next thing that
Uh,
kind of links is just like this fucking hard
ah,
stop. Next discussion point.
fuck it. It'll also just be like a weird pause, and you're like, what is he going to say? Anything? I don't know.
Yeah.
YouTube versus paid content
Mm.
like BJJ Fanatics.
Yeah, I I think at higher belts, some YouTube content isn't bad, and it depends. Definitely depends on the person and like who the content comes from. Like B Team put out some really good stuff. Like Nicky Ryan's got some quality stuff, as does Jordan Teaches Jiu-Jitsu, and the other one that looks like a ginger skeletal. Um,
Or John Thomas.
John Thomas.
Hmm.
Yep, sweet. I'm glad you got the reference. Um, but the only problem is sometimes it's quite hard to get that structure where you're just jumping from like one technique to the other. There's not like this. Here's A, B, C, D, and I think that's the benefit with paid content. So for lower belts, like I don't think white belts should be doing it, but like let's say you're blue and you're like, I need to kind of focus on this very specific aspect of my game. Maybe paid content could be better if you're not getting it from your gym and if you want to learn something in your spare time. I'm not saying like blow all your money on stuff, but you know there is some really good content. Like Grapple Club have got some really good stuff. And Owen lives his stuff. I'll always recommend because he's just like, well, he's quality, isn't he?
It's very wrestly though.
Yeah, it's well, it's like he loves wrestling and judo, and he's managed to get that really nice combo that just works for jiu-jitsu, and his stand-up's just it's beautiful.
The
What are your thoughts?
my thoughts.
What are your
Well,
thoughts, Ads?
I'm glad you asked, Chris.
Harumph, harumph, harumph.
Like pom pom.
Like what?
When you have kids, you'll understand that.
Okay.
You'll understand that from reference.
Okay.
And paid content.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of money for long form.
I will say it depends on who it is. Danaher, my god, yeah. Like some of it's ridiculous. Like you can get some decent content for like 20, 30 quid. That's like a good structure. Um, but that's probably as much as I would pay if I wanted to, like, again, if I'm like, I don't understand how to do this, I'm not really learning it from the gym, or I want to learn something completely fucking random, like, I don't know, Enter the Matrix, for example, like getting into that position, how to do that, paying the course for that, fine, I
So
think.
I did pay. It was £10. Was it £10 a month for John Thomas's stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not slagging it off. I love John Thomas, but it was just a little bit longer than what his YouTube stuff is.
Oh, really? Okay.
So his YouTube videos can be anywhere between 2 minutes and 5 minutes long, but his actual content, each video is like 10 minutes long.
Right. And there wasn't
We
much difference.
not greatly, but well, I've got like 2 terabytes worth of instructionals,
Look at me.
which has got loads and loads of stuff, loads of Danaher stuff.
Yeah.
Mikey, I've got I can't name all of them because there's millions of them
Yeah, of course. What's
on
two
there,
terabytes?
but I always find I can't concentrate on it.
Yeah, that's probably the hardest thing for paid content. Like YouTube can go, I want to find this really specific thing. Don't need to know like the ins and outs. Maybe I'll figure that out. But the paid content, I'll do like one video and I'll try and be like, just watch this one video, Chris. Then go away, try and remember that, and like implement it somehow in your game. Or
What
just
I don't understand is that jiu-jitsu tutorials, they're amazing, but their things are very much like I had a look at Mikey Musumeshi's like Bolo stuff, right?
right.
And there's 5 videos to it, and each one of those videos is an hour and a half long.
No.
You go on Danaher's stuff.
Oh, mate.
Danaher's stuff is like some of it's like 10 hours long, and you're like, I can go to the cinema and watch like one of the Batman films. Right, I think the newest Batman film, The Batman, is nearly 3 hours long.
You could watch Lord of the Rings. You could almost do the full trilogy of Lord of the Rings, almost in that time.
So,
Or maybe you can.
and 90% of each one of those hour and a half videos could be condensed into half an hour long,
Yeah.
because they're all talking absolute horseshit in between it.
Yeah, that's the bit. I'm just like I've tried to watch a few of Danaher's, but I do get lost for sure. Um,
I understand like the philosophy side of it.
yeah,
I think it's brilliant, but trying to incorporate your thoughts and feelings and kind of the way that you look at life as well into a tutorial
feels
is like,
irrelevant, right?
I'm getting an hour and a half's worth of, well, I'm getting 30 minutes worth of jiu-jitsu tutorial, and then having someone talk to me like a therapist.
Yeah,
Like
no, I know.
I don't need that.
Yeah,
So I think out of those 2 terabytes that I've got, that I've acquired over time, I probably watch like snippets of stuff,
yeah,
which I think is why sometimes it's really good. I like short form.
yeah.
So like if you go onto Instagram, for instance, and you put in, I don't know, bolo back takes,
Yep,
it'll bring you up a bunch of reels
for
that
sure.
are like 20 seconds to 30 seconds long, and it'll give you a little bit of an insight into it.
Yeah,
The more experienced you are, you can pick out the details of it
yeah,
and then go away and try it. It doesn't have all of that stuff on top of it.
yeah. I I think the paid content I've seen. Again, I've haven't really watched the Danaher Musameshi, but all the stuff I usually watch, it's quite. It's I'm trying to think of someone good. Tom DeBlas. Tom DeBlas has got some really good stuff on like submission escapes. So he does one on arm bars. He's like, here's one way of escaping the armbar at the earliest opportunity. Here's it at the middle. Then like if you're getting later and later, so that makes sense to me because it's step one, step two, step three, step four, and that's the thing I like on the paid content. And also, he just doesn't ramble, so he does it and explains the grips and explains like the mechanics behind it. Great. Next one, sweet. And then I start like trying to, like I said, if I can put that in my game, or hopefully remember it when I'm not getting smashed by someone.
As opposed to Gordon Ryan and John Danaher going, what you got to understand is, and like, mate, shut the fuck up and just show me what it is that you're trying to do. I don't need your autistic ADHD bullshit. Just show me how to do it. What are the intricacies of it? What are you doing with your toes and your pressure? And move on.
Yeah.
And move on. And so I don't really watch stuff, if I'm perfectly honest.
I'll watch like it's just those little bits. I think now like because I was almost just called a fucking career there. I'm late in my stage of jiu-jitsu where like I can watch an Instagram reel and go, okay, I need to like think about this thing, and I go, okay, that's interesting. Maybe it's these things, and I can play about with it. But I think for the the younger belts, the white belts and the blues, that'll be difficult for them to try and use because they don't know pressure, and like you said, like pressure where you put your feet and the sort of grips, and they'll mess it up.
Sometimes though you can get absorbed into it and lost.
But
And the thing that you thought, yeah, it's really cool, I'm going to try that, you forgot it 10 minutes later.
oh yeah, for sure, I've done that 100%.
I've said to my students quite a lot is try and stay away from YouTube and Instagram. I know it's really difficult to do because
Oh yeah,
I get people messaging me a lot of the time with links to videos. She's like, "Do you think this will work?" And my reply is, "Try it.
try it, see if it works, and if it does, great.
If it works, brilliant. But if
Yeah.
it doesn't, and the main thing with all of these videos, and again I say this quite a considerable amount, is that the reason why these people can do it is because they've been training for 15, 20 years.
Oh yeah.
And they are drilled and they look so fluid and look so precise. Is because they know how to do it. They are
They're
that high
professionals as
level.
well.
They're that high level that they can do those things
Yeah.
that they are showing you. If you've been training 3 or 4 years and you're trying to do some sort of like, I don't know, Levi Jones Leary, inverted, reverse De La
Reverse
Hiva
guard
to
and all this
back tape
bash,
to
yeah.
saddle or whatever it is to 411, I think that you're going to mess it up, and I don't think you're going to absorb it, and you are going to lose the fundamentals of what you're actually
Yeah.
trying to do. So, I love the idea of the concept is great of all these tutorials, but I really don't think that people should get absorbed into it too much
No.
and really focus on the fundamentals of a game rather than the little bits that are like the add-ons, because
Yeah.
that can come later.
Like the DLC, yeah.
Or like when you go to an open map, play with it, mess
Yeah,
around with
definitely.
it, play with it, but don't make it like your actual game, because you'll not be able to do it because you don't have the base of
Yeah.
everything.
So when you're next at an open map, set yourself a little goal and go, I'm going to try and do this thing. Don't worry about getting tapped or fucking it up. Just go, I'm going to try this thing. If it works, great. If it doesn't, keep trying, because you might get it. Yeah.
One of my favourite sayings in the whole world that I use and I say to my students, and it's nothing philosophical, like philosophical?
Philosophical?
Falafel?
Falafel, sir?
Falafel?
Philosophical.
Philosophical.
There we
It
go.
is nothing like Danaher, it's nothing like Chris Hoyter or anything like that. I just say, don't be shit.
Okay.
How do I get out of that? Just don't be shit.
Just don't shit. I remember I asked Akio once, I was like, have you got any advice or something? I think it was like one of the first times I'd roll with him. I was like, got any advice on like how to improve or do that? And he's like sitting there for ages going, yeah, just be better. I said, excellent. Cheers. I mean, he's not wrong, but I was expecting something like profound knowledge from Akio.
Well, that's just a PC version of don't be shit.
Exactly. Akio's just a bit more polite.
Don't be shit.
Oh, bless.
Favourite grapplers?
Favorite grapplers? Let's go. I've already mentioned him, actually. Owen Livesey. Livesey? Fuck. Well, we'll find out when he comments on this video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's quality. I met him up in Worcester at 3 Points Martial Arts during one of his seminars, and it was great. He's super chill. Him and his Mrs. Julia. Yeah, super chill guy. Really, really knowledgeable, and an absolute beast on the mats. He foot swept me as well, and it was so good. And watching it back, I feel really stupid because I was crossing my feet, but I've not done it since because like I was like, how did he catch that? He's like, oh, you crossed me your feet. I was like, was it? I was like, yeah, just double check the footage. He was like, okay, but yeah, quality guy.
I've got a great story about that. When I first
Crossing your
started, when I first started Mahara,
Right.
the lads know this story from my gym. One of my blue belts used to be on the GB Judo team, like back in the day. Sam.
I was going to say we'll keep him remain nameless.
Nah.
But his
Name the motherfucker. It's Sam.
it rhymes with ham.
Yeah. ham and mass backwards. Anyway, yeah, you're trying to
Oh,
think about
Jesus
that. Mass.
Christ! I was like,
Sam backwards is
Sam.
mass.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Anyway,
Too many beers.
took him down to Exeter, doing the warm up
Oh,
bits,
I
and we
remember
were just
this.
doing some light technique. And he got double sleeve grips on me and just did a massive foot sweep. And I went flying to the ground, and everyone
Winded.
went, "Ugh," and I was
Yeah.
like, "You motherfucker!" And do you know what, right? It could have gone two ways. I could have been like, "Oh my God, you've just shown me up in front of like all the guys that I've trained with for years
Yeah.
and years and years, and no one's ever done that to me." And I laughed. I thought it was funny as fuck. I was like,
Yeah.
"Mate, that's
I remember that
legendary.
day.
You need to teach me that shit."
Yeah.
And over the last few years, he's been great, and he
Yeah.
teaches some great
Well, that's the
takedowns.
thing. Like, if that's where his strength lies, then absolutely pick his brain. Like, I remember when I came wrestling, he was just trying to foot sweep me the entire time. Like, stop, please. Bless him.
Owen Livesey, next one.
Oh, well, what's yours? I've done mine, and it gives me time to think of one whilst you name yours.
I love the AOJ guys.
What, Mendes?
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah,
They're my size, my weight.
yeah, definitely.
Very flowy, very surfy with their jiu-jitsu.
But they're really good at pinning. Like, they use the shin staple so often. Like, if you look at a lot of their like leg drag stuff, and when they're passing from headquarters, it's always going to be a shin staple in some way, or like a shin weave
Yeah,
or a leg weave.
I love all of that stuff, and that is primarily what I pride my game on is being able to kill legs and use my legs to pin their legs
Yeah,
too. I just think that their jiu-jitsu looks very effortless and flowy, and
yeah,
it's beautiful to watch. And that's kind of what I don't emulate, but I like try to use that, because I think if you're flowy, but you still use pressure, and you
best of
can
both
use
worlds.
that, yeah, to pin bigger blokes, which the majority of people are bigger than me. I
That
I
shocks me, Ads.
no, in my head I used to think I was massive, but then you look at photos and I'm like,
Oh, I'm a tiny boy.
it's like the Lord of the Rings like profile picture, right? And I am a small thin Gimli.
Yeah.
We talked about I'm a little elf. It's like,
You're,
who's that dude down
there's a
there?
tiny boy
It's
with
like,
you. Oh,
who's
this is Ads.
who's brought the kid that's got a massive head?
He's got a massive head and a fake beard.
Yeah. I also love Marcelo
I was
Garcia.
just the way to say it. If I could name anyone else, it'd be Garcia. Like, his ADCC matches are just something else. There's a bit where he's fighting Krung Gracie. There used to be this guy, I don't know if you used to watch him, called the Ayrshire Grappler on YouTube, and he used to do a breakdown of like really high level matches. He does a breakdown of Marcelo Garcia versus Krung Gracie, and Marcelo does this bit where he's passing his guard, and he does like a moonwalk sort of motion with his shin staple. I mean, it's you know your Billy Basic windshield wiper. He does that, but at this level, and it just looks effortless. And he's just so good at just. He's just awesome. Just love Marcelo Garcia, and he's the same thing, I guess, like same size, but everything he does is just like it's a threat, and it feels really flowy when you watch him. Love that guy.
I also like the match, and I've watched it repeatedly, is Marcelo and Roger Gracie.
Oh yeah.
Marcelo plays a lot of butterfly guard and an X guard,
Yep.
and he does loads of sweeps on him, and
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
it's great to watch because I love hooks and stuff like that, and elevating people. Um, Again, talking about games, that's generally my game,
Yeah.
and
His butterfly is awesome, actually, isn't it? Because he always goes on like the shoulder clamp.
yeah, shoulder crunch
Yep.
and using his legs to elevate. But if you ever look at Marcelo's legs, they used to be
Oh, mate, they were
massive.
tree trunks, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like Chris Hoy.
And I think he's got signed by one,
He
hasn't
got
he?
signed by one. He's doing a match with Imanari, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty adamant with that.
But I remember watching one of Imanari's matches. I can't remember who it was against, but he got smashed. I think it was on Polaris. Maybe. Who did he go up against with them? It was very strange anyway.
That was recent, though, wasn't
But
it?
Eminar is quite old though now, I
He
think.
was like 45.
Yeah,
I
but
think.
I suppose, well,
But
my age is
yeah,
my age.
he's your age.
But
As
Marcelo
is
is what,
Garcia.
50? Late 40s,
I
50?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's recovered from cancer, so good on that lad.
100%. I'd be great to see him. It's great to see him come back and competing. And I love that kind of stuff.
If I could name one more, it'd be Fernando Terrere. He was my old coach's coach. So Jimmy Johnston's, that's who he got his black belt from. And I met him as well, and he was awesome. His match against Fabricio Verdun is quality, and his match against Hodger Gracie, he lands the takedown. I was saying about that comp. So it's like when you just pull them towards you and like hook the leg.
Yep.
It was that I can't remember what that takedown's called. But yeah, it was that, and he was just so explosive and aggressive, and he was just like such a heavy like forward pressure just from a small guy. If you don't know him, please go watch some of his matches. He's quality. Like Hodger beat him like eventually, but size difference was palpable.
Yeah. I don't really have that. I mean, I like watching jiu-jitsu matches. I put them in the background, the EBIs and all that sort of stuff. I think if anybody else that I would probably say that I like to watch as well, and it's really nice to watch is Fionn.
Fionn's quality. Her match with Mackenzie Dern was wicked.
Yeah.
All of her gi matches are superb when she was going through like the Euros and the Worlds. Yeah, she's quality, mate. So's Julia Owens' missus. I saw her at Enya, the first one. She got this massive hip throw. Like the girl is fucking in the air. She just gets her on a hip and woo. Ah, beautiful. But yeah, Fionn's quality as well.
Yeah, and that's all I've got to say about that, really.
That's it.
50 minutes, done.
Yeah, that's it. So, thank you for stopping by and listening to... you know what? There's going to be tangents. If you don't know by now, there's tangents in this. But we'll keep writing little points down, and we'll just be like, point done, next one.
Bullet points, done. Next conversation bit.
Bullshit stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, waffling. Chris, thank you.
No worries. Have a lovely Christmas.
You too, mate.
I'm so excited. Grow this out so next time you see us, I'll be like Gimli.
Yeah. And thank you.
Thank you
for listening.
Have a wonderful Christmas, you person listening / watching.
And yeah, that's it. Cheers.
Bye.